You're saying that the point of mass deportations is to enforce the law. Well, if that's the case, have we seen a consistent respect for the law from the president and from his administration since the term began this January? And the answer to both of those questions is effectively no. Bear in mind that Trump is not only barred from running a business, he's barred from running a charity in the state of New York. And you have to be doing something extremely egregious for that to happen, because the legal system is usually quite lenient when it comes to those matters. And that is not a form of targeting, that is not a form of lawfare. That is something that you, again, have to be found extremely guilty of in order for that to happen. There's been about $500 million in fines levied against him, and he has yet to pay them at all. And there's also the fact that he has multiple sexual assault cases against him that he has also been convicted of. And the thing is that it takes a lot for victims to come forward, let alone for there to be a conviction. So I don't think that there is any respect for the law if you have to be doing something so egregious for someone to come forward and to find you guilty of something like that. Trump also uses lawfare, a technique he learned from Roy Cohn, where he will sue people and get them stuck in these long court battles, and eventually his opponents will have to concede because they can't afford the legal fees. He's done this not only to contractors that he's refused to pay, but also people like Christopher Steele, who published books criticizing him. As for his administration, have we seen a respect for the law? And my answer to that is also no, because Trump signed multiple executive orders that were unconstitutional. He signed an executive order claiming that he could end birthright citizenship, and that is not something that the president has the power to do. That is the power of Congress, because it is a constitutional amendment. So the fact that he would sign something so egregious, so unlawful, really shows that there is no respect for the law. There's other things too. He has signed multiple executive orders defunding federal agencies when those funds were granted by the previous Congress, which is again unconstitutional. Congress agrees to a fiscal budget, that money is dispersed, and then it is the job of the next year's budget that is supposed to determine where funds are allocated. When it comes to mass deportations, Trump has been a fan of them since 2015. At a rally in 2015 in New Hampshire, he claimed that he would deport people en masse in accordance to this operation right here, which was also unlawful because they sent U.S. citizens to countries that they had never been to before. Right now, the current strategy is arrest quotas, 3,000 daily arrests by ICE. And the problem with that strategy is that it takes time to find criminals. So if you're having trouble meeting quota, it just incentivizes these agencies to just arrest people that they find, which is what ICE has been doing because they haven't been meeting that quota. So they've been going to workplaces and arresting people there. They've been arresting people who are here legally, who are citizens, people like pregnant mothers, not just in California, but also in Florida as well. These arrests are also happening to people who have recently had their temporary protected status removed, people who have been fleeing countries like Cuba or Venezuela, and then Trump removes temporary protected status, and then they get arrested despite the fact that they are here legally, and they have been sent to other countries, often without due process. Not only that, when the Supreme Court ruled unanimously against the Trump administration for not affording due process to Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the administration largely ignored it and claimed that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the administration, when that was not the case at all. When you look at the evidence, it's quite clear that this is not being done out of respect for the law, nor is it being applied consistently. When we look at the legal system as a whole, you'll find that the United States needs labor, so they rely upon immigration in order to meet that need. There is still a labor shortage in the United States. Yet, the system is deliberately designed to be broken to victimize immigrants as opposed to prosecuting the employers who are hiring them in the first place. And that is a question I've been asking for a long time. If the Republicans are serious about stopping immigration, why do they not prosecute the businesses and corporations that hire so many of them? Why do they only victimize the immigrants?